welcome to Chamber Chat. Opportunity for people to get to know our Chamber members a little bit better. And today we have Doris Johnston. She is the Mid-Willamette Regional Community Manager with Pacific Power. So thank you for joining us today.
Well, it's nice to be here.
Excellent.
Thank you.
So what kind of impact does Pacific Power want to have on our community?
You know, when we look at the history of Pacific Power, of course, we've been around for eons, 104 years to be exact. And we've served independents. We don't serve Monmouth, served independents for many years. And we like to work with our local governments and Chamber of Commerce in regards to bringing business into the community. Economic development is, I think, the lifeblood of most communities. And unfortunately, businesses turn over, and so if you don't continue to have business, then new businesses come on, then you start dying. And independence sure is not. I mean, they've had a lot of great opportunities.
Indeed, they have. What would you say is one of the best features of independence?
Yeah, oh, there's so many. You know, you look at the new City Hall with the Civic Center and events that they can have there, and you look at the amphitheater, what they've done, they really have brought a lot of people into Independence for events, and I think that has, turned the corner for Independence, really has made a huge difference of the improvements that they've done there on Main Street.
So you have the physical improvements as well as just getting more people in to really build the significance of the city.
That's right. Well, and then I also think that, you know, as you look down the future with Mayanet, with the opportunities that you have there, with bringing businesses into Independence, with the internet opportunities, I think that is, you know, kind of futuristic, looking out in the future, what can happen in Independence and Monmouth.
Excellent. You referenced Pacific Power and working with the Chamber of Commerce. I know Pacific Power has been a member of the Chamber for a long time as well, not the 104 years, but for a very long time. What's one of the most important benefits of your Chamber membership, do you think, for Pacific Power?
You know, I think that when you have Chamber members that have a chance to get together and talk about their products and services, it's just a benefit to both parties. So, you know, it's like with Pacific Power, we have energy efficiency programs, we have, you know, all sorts of tools that businesses can use. And other businesses have the same thing. And if you don't have a chance to talk to the relating businesses or different types of businesses, they have no way of knowing of the different services that other Chamber members can bring.
Right, and with the Chamber, of course, we have our monthly forums and our monthly mixers, and that information can be shared, obviously, during those functions, as well as information on our website. So let's get to know you a little bit. What would you say professionally has been one of your greatest accomplishments?
Oh, wow. Well, probably being with one company for 41 years.
That's impressive. 41 years is really impressive.
So that doesn't happen very often.
Not at all.
But I really enjoy working in the communities that I serve and helping them through difficult times and being able to provide them leadership so that they can make it, you know, turn the corner and start being prosperous. I think that I've been in a number of communities and have had that opportunity, and I really enjoy that. And it makes a difference for the communities.
So professionally, when you started with Pacific Power and where you are now, how has that role changed for you over the years?
You know, I started with Pacific a long time ago, needless to say, but at that time, there was not a lot of opportunity for women in the business place. And, you know, you could work in the office and, you know, you were to stay in the office. And so as I've developed through the years, I think that has been one of the most interesting cycles, I guess, and professional development. And luckily within the company, you actually receive training. So we have classes you can go to, so you don't have to go to community college, you don't have to go to a university. They do a lot of that in-house professional development. So I think that's a, you know, a plus on my side, myself, and leadership opportunities out in the community and internally in the company. You know, facilitation skills and just a number of things that I think has helped me grow quite a bit.
So when you started, skills you per se didn't necessarily have, but you've been able to really grow and develop over the years. Excellent.
Yeah.
What about personally? What would you say is a personal accomplishment, one of your best success stories there?
Okay, so I've been with Pacific for 41 years. My husband, Larry, and I will be married 43 years in November. And so that doesn't happen often. We have 2 children and 3 grandchildren, and with a new one on the way in October.
Congratulations.
And so I think personally, that is number one. Family to me is number one. And you do all this other stuff, and you just so you can enjoy your family and take them on trips and do special times. We just our oldest granddaughter, just graduated from high school, and we took the families down to Mexico they went a week, we went 2 weeks, but being able to do things together as a family.
Very nice. So, living in the Mid-Willamette Valley area, what do you find one of the best attractions to living here?
Location. I think you have an opportunity to be in Portland, be in Eugene, be at the coast, be in the mountains, within, an hour and a half at the most. And it's the location, it's the climate, I think, is wonderful. I like the people. I've lived in, 5 or 6 different locations, but I think it's the people no matter where you live. You can find great friends everywhere.
Well, I agree. Originally not being from this area, I've been told I have an accent, so maybe that's clear.
Yes, you do.
But I agree with location. You can get to Portland, you can get to the coast, you can get to the mountains. I agree 100%. Location is really ideal living here. What about something that's interesting, a hobby or an interest that you have that would surprise people? What's something about you that people would be surprised to find out?
Well, okay, so I don't think it's going to be a big surprise that they know that I'm a Beaver fan, but I've been a Beaver fan for a long time, and we do a massive tailgate. That's probably the piece that people wouldn't understand. Yeah, you're a Beaver fan, that's okay. We leave at 6 o'clock in the morning on game day, and we don't get home till 11 o'clock at night, normally. And so we tailgate. It's a full-day event, all day. We have a 55-inch screen TV that we take, satellite dish, and so that's probably the main area that people think, yeah, she's a Beaver fan, yeah, okay, well, we're kind of fanatics at it.
So there's a Beaver fan, and then there's the hardcore 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Excellent.
Yes.
So outside of supporting and doing the tailgating, what else do you do outside of work for fun?
Grandkids. We like to fish, we like to vacation, we garden. We have the home little garden, nothing huge, it's the 5 feet wide planter strip.
You get what you need out of it. Sounds great to me.
So, but I receive enough vegetables that I can can and have canned goods throughout the winter time. So, it's sufficient. So that's good.
All right, so Beaver fans, some gardening, spending time with family, forcing yourself for 2 weeks in Mexico.
Yeah, that's really tough.
Was it really challenging?
Yeah, that's really tough.
Excellent. Well, Doris, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time and being a guest on Chamber Chat and helping people get to know a little bit more about you.
Well, thank you for having me.
Excellent. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. And thank you for joining us with Chamber Chat. We now have Amy Bradish, who's a broker with Kampfer Enterprises. So thank you for joining me today.
Thank you.
And let's just jump right in. This is an opportunity for people to get to know you as a broker here in town. Why did you choose Monmouth Independence to set up your business, to be a broker?
Well, Larry Kampfer is the one who set the business up, Kampfer Enterprises. He's a retired pharmacist, and his daughters actually attended school here. So he had an apartment complex, and he loved the family atmosphere and decided this was a good place to start a business.
Excellent. So what made you want to join Kampfer?
Well, I've been in real estate for a number of years, and coming back to my hometown, I like the family, the feel that Kampfer has.
Excellent.
And so it's a small company, but yeah, it's very friendly.
Nice. So with our community, what do you think is a special feature about our community that really makes it stand out from others?
I have to say that the businesses in town, in Monmouth Independence, they are just a wonderful group of people. And like I said, I was born and raised here. So coming back and being a part of that community, of the structure, it's a wonderful feeling.
So you're part of giving back to your hometown, to a place that you hold dear to your heart. You said you had lived elsewhere and you chose to come back specifically for that community feel.
That's right, I did. And 25 years I was gone.
Oh, wow.
And so 5 years ago I came back, and it was a conscious decision. I wasn't forced. And I'm so happy to be back home. Yes, it's
Excellent.
wonderful.
Now, Kampfer's been a member of the Chamber for a good number of years as well. What do you think is one of the best benefits of being a member of the Chamber?
Oh, I have to say, meeting all of the people, feeling like we're all linked together, we're all working together as one. And so the Chamber provides that sense of community, to be able to get to know the businesses, the people in the businesses.
So you have the businesses that are working hard every day to keep the community, make it stronger, and then the Chamber providing the opportunity for the businesses to get to know one another outside of their own actual structure of their business.
Absolutely, and if the Chamber wasn't around, then it would be hard to facilitate that.
Excellent. And I know, for example, Kampfer hosted one of our after-hours mixers earlier this year. You had a chance for people to come by and see the office if they'd never seen it previously, and had a nice little turnout. It was fun. So, yeah, it was a really good time for people to network and build those relationships.
It was fun, and I'm looking forward to holding another one.
Excellent. We'll be doing the 2015 schedule soon, so
Okay.
look out for that email. Let's get to know you a little bit more as an individual. With your professional as a broker, what would you say is one of your more proudest professional moments?
When I was with Windermere up in Portland, they were they're very big on giving back to the community. And so we would hold functions as far as raising money. So I think for me, one of my proudest moments was selling a home and being able to donate a good portion of that for a good cause.
Nice.
I think giving back is really just as important as, we have an obligation.
So your job allowing you to have the ability to give back in a financial component, as well as your time every day of working with the individuals to help sell that home, for the new home buyer to buy the home, but just the idea of giving back either financially or with your own time.
Exactly. And there's nothing more rewarding than to be able to help or to work with people in finding a home and selling them a home, selling their home, or finding a rental for them.
Right. I know the first time my husband and I bought a home, just that feeling of excitement of, this is mine, I get to be a homeowner.
Exactly. And it's nice to be a part of that. It's rewarding.
So on a personal level, not work, let's go to the personal side now.
Okay.
What would you say is one of your happiest or greatest achievements personally?
Oh, my children. Yes. My children, my grandchildren.
So
Yes.
just no hesitation about that
No,
whatsoever. Family
Family
children.
is first.
Excellent. Do you have a specific story perhaps with your children?
Oh.
that you want to share?
I just have many. They're all very dear to me. Both my children play music, and my son is an accomplished drummer who's in a band.
That's
and
exciting.
I'm very proud of him. But I think, yes, it just is. They're all just wonderful. I can go on forever with stories.
As most
But we're
parents can.
limited.
Right. So when looking at you as a person, what is a hobby or an interest that people would be surprised that you do or you have?
I don't know if it would be surprised because I'm not really that out there. I ride horses. I love animals, gardening, cooking, baking.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So as far as horses, do you have a certain type of horse, a certain breed that you like?
No, I like them all. I would, if I could, this might be surprising, I would have a farm of every animal.
So like a little Amy arc, if you will. Okay, excellent. So Amy, as far as living, again, you consciously chose to come back to our community, but when you look at the Mid-Willamette Valley as a whole, what's so special about the valley?
First, the beauty. You just can't help but admire all the mountains around us. But the hometown feeling. It's a community I missed. I didn't think I would because I couldn't get out of here fast enough when I was 18. But it is definitely the community. It's the tight knit group that you develop living in the small town. The sports, the schools, it's all wonderful.
Again, my husband and I, not being originally from here, we feel the same. I still smile. There are days when I'm driving on 51 or 99, and you just look around you and you see the mountains and the shades of green. It's just so pretty. It's like, I live here, you know?
Exactly. I feel the same way. And there's just not a day that doesn't go by that I don't appreciate the scenery.
Excellent. So you love the community feel, you like the business component, the ability to give back, the beauty of our area. So overall, things are going very well for you.
They are. They couldn't get any better.
Excellent.
Very happy with my life.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being a part of Chamber Chat. I'm glad you came by, and we appreciate your time.
Thank you, Jean, so much.
All right. So Paul, thank you for joining us on Chamber Chat. We now have Paul Evans. He's the principal consultant with Mayberry Leadership Institute. So this is an opportunity for people to get to know you as Paul Evans. Why did you start Mayberry Leadership Institute in our community?
Well, first, thank you for the invite to come. I started Mayberry Institute, MayberryLeadershipInstitute.com, in this community because this is where I live. This is where I was raised. And though I spent a lot of years away because of the military and other things, this is home.
So what makes our community, what's a special feature about our community, do you think?
I think the people, the place, it's a blending of both agricultural and business as well as education. So it's, for my interest, it's a perfect nexus.
Excellent. So you're a recent chamber member for a little over a year now. What would you say is one of your better benefits of being a chamber member?
Well, I'm a recent member again, because when I was mayor, I was also a member of the chamber. And one of the things that I really missed was the opportunity to network and the opportunity to get to know some of the folks that are out there every day trying to help the economy grow. So that's why I joined again.
Excellent. So professionally, you've got the Mayberry Leadership Institute. What would you say is one of your greatest professional accomplishments?
Well, Mayberry Leadership Institute is basically, it's a consulting firm, and it's also an enterprise that allows me to write books, develop seminars, and to train teachers. And one of the most important ones, one of the most important experiences I've had is working with an organization called SERVE. It's a Pentagon-funded study for reintegration of veterans. And I'm one of the paid consultants in that process. And I think overall, what it's going to be doing in terms of transitioning the workplace for returning veterans is really going to be a big deal. So I'm really very grateful to be a part of that.
So as a former person who served in the military yourself, obviously you have a passion to help other servicemen and women to re-enter the workplace once their tours are done. And this is obviously an opportunity for you to do that, an outlet that helps you accomplish that.
Right. In 1992, I joined the Air Force, and I spent about 20 years retiring this past May. And one of the things they tell you is, you know, you raise your right hand, you join the military. But that oath doesn't really end. So it's an opportunity for me to give back, even though I'm no longer in uniform. So it really means a lot.
Nice. So let's turn to more personal. Get to know you personally.
Personal.
Yes. Professionally, it's giving back, working with servicemen and women. Personally, what would be one of your greatest accomplishments or achievements?
Well, I was born and raised in Monmouth, or at least born in Salem and raised most of my life in Monmouth, went through Central School District. So most of the people here actually know me personally. But one of the things that really has meant the most to me was when I had the opportunity to serve as a mayor in the city of Monmouth. I did school board and city council as well, but when you actually get a chance to be mayor of your hometown, it's a very special, personal experience, and I'm grateful for that opportunity.
And you were younger when you served as mayor.
I was elected when I was 28. Yeah.
So that's a great accomplishment at a younger age.
Would have loved to have served longer, but unfortunately, some people tore down or crashed into some buildings, and I had to go fight a war.
Right, a little bit of an interruption of your path at that point. So, looking at where you are now, what's a hobby or an interest that people might be surprised that you do, where you have a skill set?
Well, one of the things I really got interested in while I was away was sailing. And you don't do a lot of wet water sailing in Oregon because the waters are not exactly terribly warm. But one of the things that I really enjoy doing when I'm in warmer climates is wet water sailing.
I will agree that the water is not as warm coming from North Carolina, going to the beach in the summertime, the Atlantic Ocean. One can actually get in and swim and playfully have a good time. Not quite the same opportunity here on the Oregon coast.
I was stationed at Fort Walton Beach, Florida, as they like to say, the Gulf Coast, and the water was in the 70s. So when you came off the sailboat, it was like you're in a bathtub. It was great.
Right, and just not quite. A beautiful
quite the
Oregon
same.
coast. The Oregon coast is gorgeous.
No better place in the world to be, but perhaps not for whitewater sailing.
Correct. Or just splashing about with a family. Right.
That's right.
So living in the Willamette Valley, we talk about the natural beauty that's here, the community feel of Monmouth and Independence. What would you say is one of the biggest attractions to our community, to the Willamette Valley area?
I think many people would say location, because you're an hour away from pretty much anything you want to do, the mountains or the city or the coast. And some people would say the people. For me, it's just the wonder of never knowing what you're going to see next. We live in an area where you can drive to work, or I work at Chemeketa. So when I drive to Chemeketa, some days I'll have to slow down because of tractors. Some days I'll get to see a beautiful fog in the morning. When the winter and fall and spring come along, there's just different aspects that if you live in different places around the world, you can get a snapshot of, but you just never know what you're going to get. It's kind of like the Forrest Gump box of chocolates thing. Living in Monmouth, you just never know what you're going to get. And that natural splendor and that opportunity of where people have found really a sustainable way to live here just is a draw. And I could have lived in a lot of other places thanks to the military. I spent a lot of time in other countries, not always great places to be, but nonetheless a lot of other places. There's just no other singular location where people are as interested in sustaining the environment or in developing the kinds of lifestyle, cyber village, if you will, as this place. And it just always has a tug on my heart, and that's why I came back.
So I've heard previous people who have participated with Chamber Chat reference a similar component of, I've lived elsewhere, and I could have stayed elsewhere, but I intentionally chose to come back.
That's right.
So again, the pull for you to return to this community and all that it offers outweigh the benefits of living in other places.
That's right. In fact, that's one of the reasons I named the company Mayberry. Growing up in the only dry town west of the Mississippi, we used to laugh about some of the peculiarities of Mayberry. And the fact of the matter is, there's just no better place to be.
So Mayberry, North Carolina, Andy Griffith, got a little connection there.
Indeed. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. So one more question, and we'll wrap this up.
Sure.
What would you say are some of your other interests? You said an unknown hobby or skill set would be the wet sailing, but what are some other things you do in your spare time? What spare time you have?
Well, I'm currently a candidate for the legislature. That's a hobby as well as an effort. And I like to fish. It's killing me a little bit because I'm working very hard in the campaign and not going salmon fishing, which I normally do this time of year. And I like to write a lot. I've written a few books, one or two fiction, which are fine, they're okay. But I like to write books about community and communication and how people in a practical sense can actually learn how to communicate and listen and learn from each other. And that exercise is actually interesting to me. I've had a very interesting life and very blessed for that. Having spent 20 years in the military, but 10 different contingencies, 4.5 years in combat zones, I got to see a lot of the world, and I got an opportunity to realize just how special it is to be where we are as Americans at this point in time, how much work we have to do, and yet how much bounty we have. So my hobbies really are trying to find ways to express some of those experiences so that hopefully they can help others.
So basically, your personal life definitely rolls into your professional life, which rolls into the Mayberry Leadership Institute, which rolls into just sort of a full circle, if you will, of who you are, giving back to the community, loving this area, and helping to improve it and keep it strong.
I was 18 years old when this community gave me an opportunity to serve. And though looking back, I'm still not exactly sure why they did that. I'm very grateful that they did. And what that gave me was a sense of duty to make sure that I try to serve the community in whatever ways I can for as long as I can. So it really does cross over. I mean, my grandpa believed that basically you should always be working. And he found ways to enjoy life through work, and he taught that to his son, and my dad and grandpa taught it to me. And serving this community, there are ways to do it and have fun at the same time. I'm now currently a member of the Rotary over in Salem, and we do projects where we build gardens or do other things that, quite frankly, I don't know much about gardening, but it's a chance to play with power tools and do things for the community. So you try to find ways that you can do things that aren't necessarily related to a profession, but still helping, hopefully, at least some people in your community. So that's what I do for fun.
Excellent. Well, Paul, it's been a pleasure having you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on Chamber Chat. And
Thank you for this
appreciate your time.
opportunity. I appreciate it very much.